If you remember in the last video, my airbrush just gave up on life and perished. The good people at FedEx just dropped off my new one, so let's go through this. And yes, before anyone says it, this is a $20 Chinese airbrush. I know, they work for me, and I'll show you how to make them work for you. I'm just going to change it back over to the 5ml bowl that I'm used to working with. So I'm just going to quickly disassemble this, make sure it's all in working order. And I was extremely surprised to figure out how tight this thing was. There's a lot of play in my old one right there. And in my experience, when it comes to airbrushes, it doesn't matter how much you paid or who made it, the needle's really all that matters. I am under a strong belief that these needles are actually cast. They have casting seams on them, they got weird globs of metal, they're not real smooth. So I'd like to use an emery board, just run it across and smooth it out. I start with the tip, I just put my finger on it, get that angle right, and then just twist it. That smooths it out. And this one was in pretty good shape because there's barely any metal left on that. And it's not as smooth as I like, but it's pretty smooth. It's a lot smoother than some of the ones I bought. So same thing, except we just do it with the flat part this time, and I'll just run it back and forth. And do not poke yourself, because you don't want blood all over your work area. And I am happy when I can unscrew these with my fingers, because if I gotta put any kind of tool on it, I'm gonna over torque them and break them. Now, usually I only bust these out for the yearly cleaning, but right now I'm just going to give it a quick run through to clean off the threads and get anything left over in that tube. Then I'll just screw this back on as tight as I can get it with my finger. That little itty bitty O-ring will do all the sealing we need it to do. Just throw that away. If you ever gotta use that, just stay away from an airbrush. And once I get the needle in, I'll turn it a little bit just to make sure it's straight in there. I'm just doing a little bit of pre-adjusting here. Judging from my last one, I know if I get the lever vertical, that's right about where I need it to be. And as long as I screw the rear cap on so the clocking on it always has the opening facing up and down, then that will always be the same adjustment. And this part's nice and clean, so we're good to go. Now, I'd forgotten how light these aluminum body brushes are. I've been using my steel one for the past week. This is a night and day difference. And we'll get the old one out of here, then we'll hook up the new one and we'll see how it does. It has enough air pressure to blow a dent in my fat hand, so we're good to go. I'm gonna pour some airbrush cleaner in here real quick, blow that through, and we'll look at the pattern. And I realize it's kind of hard to see here, especially since I lined my boots with foil, but the spray pattern has a nice cone to it. It's gonna work out just fine. And this is my old one. The valve on it is what died. That is, I think it's got a broken spring. Alright, so I got some paint mixed up. I got the volume turned way down low. Let's see how this does. This is the exhaust system for my next build. What I'm trying to do here is just get a nice light coat of brown just to kind of simulate some surface rust. Now let's clean this thing. I like to use lacquer thinner. I use this stuff to clean my airbrushes and to thin my paints. I'm just off camera here refilling that little glass bottle. And after I blow out all the paint that was in the bowl, I will pull the needle back and then blow it out again. This will break free any dry paint or any paint that was stuck between the needle and the tube. Now there's always some debate here on how to clean these. I use a Q-tip. Fill the bowl with lacquer thinner, then just use a Q-tip, slosh that around in there. It'll get the bowl nice and clean. Then just blow it all out. And just like last time, I'll pull the needle out a little bit, blow out everything in the tube, then I'll pull the needle out and give it a good wipe down. Then I'll just repeat the process until the needle starts to come out clean. I should also mention this is my end of the day cleaning. As I paint throughout the day and I switch between colors, I will just clean out the bowl. For the very last step, I will use commercial air grade cleaner. I'll fill the bowl up halfway, spray some of it through. I'll do a little plunger action there with the needle. Then I will just leave that in there. It will not evaporate and it will keep your needle from seizing. And here I was going to say put a cap on it and go to bed. But these bowls are not the same size, so the cap I have on hand doesn't fit. Put your end cap back on, make any final adjustments you want to make, and you're done. Thank you for watching.